Milk Minute.
Have a good day. So today we are going to discuss about the manifesto and why is it important for learners to be aware or to be familiar with the arguments being used in a manifesto. So first, let us discuss what a manifesto is. A manifesto is a declaration of vision, purpose of a writer. So it is most likely written in written form. So here, language would play a very important role in imparting to the readers what is the goal of the writer. So here, the way you present your ideas, the writer present his ideas is in many ways as those ideas themselves. So it should be clear that the argument can be furthered or diminished by the manner by which he presented it or in the manner of its presentation to the readers. And but on the other hand, the writer would not want his arguments to be nonsense or baseless. So you must see to it that there is a balance between saying things plainly and poetically and being forceful and saying things logically. And the argument must be persuasive, meaning it must use an organizational structure for the audience to perceive it easily and to see it logically and easy to understand. And you should focus on the issues being presented and be careful in the application of evidence. When the parties would understand the claims or the issues perfectly, they can make sure that the course of action will be clear for the readers to know the common ground between the parties so that making the audience understand the views of the writers that goes beyond his position, and the emphasis on the reiterating the point of the opponent to his or her satisfaction. So there must be a logical foundation for the arguments and building a thorough support structure for each of the arguments for the clear appreciation of the key claims of the writer.
Senior High School on Air.
Senior High School on Air. The front line of quality and excellent learning.
Excellent learning. You have all the best of the best.
Best of the best.
Magaling umaga, handa na ba kayong matuto?
Naghanda na po.
Reading and writing.
Pagbasa at pagsusuri ng teksto tungo sa pananaliksik.
Practical research more.
English for academic and professional purposes.
Ability and statistics.
General biology too.
Disciplines and ideas in applied social sciences.
Cookery and more.
Senior High School, best of the best.
Best of the best. Of the best.
What comes to your mind when you hear the word argument? Perhaps you may think of a fight or a conflict. In the context of academe, an argument is a formal way to make a point in academic writing. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to understand the characteristics of an argument, identify those arguments that you find within an academic paper, and analyze those arguments used by writers in manifestos. Let us begin! Welcome to our subject, English for Academic and Professional Purposes, Future Professionals. I am Teacher Catherine, your guide for today's lesson on analyzing arguments. The old ones say the beginning of understanding is listening. So, for you to listen properly, you must find a place where you can clearly hear the broadcast. You also have to make sure that you have with you your learning kits. Moreover, prepare yourself to learn. Before we dig deeper into identifying and analyzing arguments, familiarize yourselves first with some important terms. Listen carefully to the statements, for you will be given 3 seconds to answer each of them. Are you ready?
Yes!
Number 1. It refers to a claim or a set of claims with reasons and evidence offered as support. a line of reasoning meant to demonstrate the truth or falsehood of something. Choices are A. Argument, B. Assumption, C. Analysis. Number 2. It refers to a belief, often unstated or unexamined, that someone must hold in order to maintain a particular position. Choices are A. Argument, B. Assumption, C. Conclusion. Number 3. It is the process of breaking something down into its component parts in order to understand how they work together to make up the whole. Choices are A. Analysis, B. Conclusion, C. Evaluation. Number 4. It is an assessment of the quality of evidence and the reasons in an argument and of the overall merit of an argument. Choices are A. Analysis, B. Conclusion, C. Evaluation. Number 5. It is the resulting assertion reached by a line of reasoning. Choices are A. Analysis, B. Conclusion, C. Evaluation. Let's now check your answers. For number 1, the correct answer is letter A. An argument refers to a claim or a set of claims with reasons and evidence offered as support. A line of reasoning meant to demonstrate the truth or falsehood of something. Number 2. The answer is letter B. An assumption refers to a belief, often unstated or unexamined, that someone must hold in order to maintain a particular position. We proceed to number 3. The answer is letter A. Analysis is the process of breaking something down into its component parts in order to understand how they work together to make up the whole. Number 4. The answer is letter C. An assessment of the quality of evidence and reasons in an argument and of the overall merit of an argument is called evaluation. And for number 5, the correct answer is letter B. The resulting assertion reached by a line of reasoning is the conclusion. We're done! You can now count your score. For those who got a perfect or high score, tap your shoulders for a job well done. For those who didn't make it, you still have a chance today to do better. But for the meantime, I want you to attend to your personal necessities while listening to this infomercial.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
Wow! Magic lamp! Kiskisin ko nga, baka may lumabas na genie.
Maligayang araw! Ako ang iyong genie na bibigyan ka ng 3 kahilingan. Ano-ano ang mga ito?
Una, gusto ko ng cellphone, yung touchscreen. Pangalawa, gusto ko ng laptop para sa pagbubukas ng klase. Kailangan daw kasi yun eh. At pangatlo, Wi-Fi para sa online class namin.
Bata, hindi totoong kakailanganin ng cellphone, laptop at wifi sa pagbubukas ng klase. Modules ang gagamitin ninyo. Mabuti nang mayroon kang wastong kaalaman tungkol sa mga bagay na ito. O heto, ballpen, papel at notebook upang maging karagdagang gamit mo sa pag-aaral.
Ganun po ba?
Alamin ang mga dapat ihanda sa pagbubukas ng klase. Ang mga fake news ay ating isang tabi. Isang paalala mula sa DepEd at ng himpilang ito.
Teacher Catherine is back! And you are still listening to Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela. As I have said earlier, you are going to analyze arguments used by writers in manifestos. An argument consists of 2 parts. First, a claim or statement that summarizes the main idea. And second, reasons why that claim is true and or evidence to support that claim. Let us listen at this example. Reflective writing can help students become better thinkers. It can help students see that ideas are meant to be discussed and debated. Bridges and Jost found that students who did weekly reflective journal writing about their course content for a semester could analyze course concepts at a deeper level than those who didn't. In this case, the sentence, reflective writing can help students become better thinkers, is the claim. The claim is expanded upon in the next sentence. It can help students see that ideas are meant to be discussed and debated. Finally, evidence is presented, often in the form of a citation. Here we read that Bridges and Jost found that students who did weekly reflective journal writing about their course content for a semester could analyze course concepts at a deeper level than those who didn't. This evidence supports the originally presented claim and its expansion. When reading, you will need to identify arguments in order to properly understand the main points. In paragraphs, a topic sentence often identifies the main claim or idea of the paragraph. This is usually the first sentence, but not always. To find it, follow the following steps. First, read the paragraph. Next, ask, what is this paragraph about? Third, summarize the content in your own words. Lastly, find the sentence within that paragraph that best matches that summary. This is likely the stated claim of the paragraph. Did you get it, learners? Yes! Let's take, for example, the following paragraph. The story of Disney's The Lion King draws direct inspiration from Shakespeare's Hamlet. Simba represents Hamlet, the successor of the king Mufasa, who swears revenge on his uncle Scar or Claudius. Likewise, Simba's best friend Nala represents both Ophelia, a love interest, and Horatio, a best friend. Take a minute and follow the 4-step process to determine the stated claim.
Halina at matuto, gamit ang ating radyo. Pakinggan at unawain, aralin na ituturo. Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon. Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang maiiwan. Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela.
Do you have an answer in mind? You got it! After reading the paragraph, it seems clear that the author is comparing the Lion King to Hamlet. More specifically, it is saying that the similarities between the two are too great to be only coincidences. As a result, it would appear as though the best sentence matched to this summary would be the first sentence. This is likely the stated claim. It is important to note that not all paragraphs have topic sentences. If there isn't one, identify the important ideas in the paragraph. Then, look at what they have in common and summarize that to get the main claim or idea. In order to begin analyzing an argument, you must first look at the evidence presented to you, then ask questions like, number 1, based on the evidence, is there a different explanation or claim possible? Number 2, is the evidence convincing and sound? Number 3, how does the argument or evidence compare with others you've read? You will likely find two authors who make different claims on the same topic. How do they each support their claims with reasons and evidence? Let's look at these two examples. Paragraph number 1. Every citizen should have access to a free, universal healthcare system. This would allow medical professionals to concentrate on healing their patients rather than dealing with insurance procedures and liability concerns. Each person has a right to be cared for, and having access to free medical services provides patients with the opportunity for regular checkups when otherwise they may not be able to afford them. Paragraph number 2. Universal health care is an impractical system where total costs end up being much higher compared to privatized care. Doctor flexibility is decreased due to government policy, and those that are healthy are forced to subsidize the health benefits for smokers and those that are obese. Everyone should be given access to health care, but not in a publicly controlled system. What opinions about a universal healthcare system do the two sentences claim? That's right! Although each paragraph discusses the same topic, they both claim very different things. Paragraph number 1 argues that universal health care gives doctors the opportunity to focus on care over insurance concerns. On the other hand, paragraph number 2 argues that doctor flexibility is decreased in such a system due to intrusive government policy. Another point, paragraph 1 argues that universal health care gives everyone the opportunity for regular checkups, no matter the cost, while paragraph number 2 argues that such a system forces the healthy to subsidize benefits for those needing care due to smoking or obesity. Ultimately, each author supports his claim with effective reasoning. As you read, make sure you understand the claims that the author is trying to make. Let's take some time to practice a few of things we just went over. Are you ready for some exercises? Yes! What is the main claim of this paragraph? Digital piracy is not killing the music industry. History has shown that formats shift and change depending on consumer preferences. LPs and cassettes have been phased out to make room for CDs. With the current shift from physical to digital, consumers have the freedom to purchase individual tracks instead of whole albums. A move that explains the drop in album sales and, as a result, overall profits. Choices are A. As a result of piracy, overall album sales drop. B. Consumers prefer digital media over physical media. C. Digital piracy is not killing the music industry. D. LPs and cassettes have been phased out to make room for CDs. Obviously, the correct answer is letter C. Digital piracy is not killing the music industry. Did you get it right? Yes! Again, an argument refers to a claim or a set of claims with reasons and evidence offered as support. A line of reasoning meant to demonstrate the truth or falsehood of something. In analyzing argument, it is important to remember the following. First, read the argument and instructions carefully. Second, identify the argument's claims, conclusions, and underlying assumptions. Evaluate their quality. Third, think of as many alternative explanations and counter-examples as you can. Fourth, think of what specific additional evidence might weaken or lend support to the claim. Fifth, ask yourself, what changes in the argument would make the reasoning more sound? Now that you know how to identify arguments and the steps on how to analyze them, it would now be easier for you to demonstrate your critical thinking skills and analytical abilities. And that's what we are going to assess in your quiz later. But for now, let's have this infomercial.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela.
Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you! Ngayon ba ang kaarawan mo? Hindi. Hinuhugasan ko lamang ng mabuti ang aking kamay. Sabi ng DOH, 2 happy birthday songs daw upang makaiwas tayo sa COVID-19. Wow! Ang galing naman! Simula ngayon, maghuhugas na ako ng kamay habang umaawit ng happy birthday. Ang inyong kalinisan at disiplina ang magliligtas sa inyo. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, DepEd at ng himpilang ito.
This is now the moment of truth. Let's have a short quiz. Prepare your paper and pen for your answers. And here's what you are going to do. Listen carefully as I read each paragraph. Determine the main point the author is trying to make. Identify what conclusion can be drawn from the argument. Each paragraph is followed by 3 statements. One statement supports the author's argument better than the others do. In answering, you only need to write the letter of the correct answer. Are you ready? Let us begin! Number 1. One New York publisher has estimated that 50,000 to 60,000 people in the United States want an anthology that includes the complete works of William Shakespeare. And what accounts for this renewed interest in Shakespeare? As scholars point out, his psychological insights into both female and male characters are amazing even today. This paragraph best supports the statement that letter A. Shakespeare's characters are more interesting than fictional characters today. Letter B. People even today are interested in Shakespeare's works because of the characters. Letter C. Academic scholars are putting together an anthology of Shakespeare's work. Question number 2. One of the warmest winters on record has put consumers in the mood to spend money. Spending is likely to be the strongest in 13 years. During the month of February, sales of existing single-family homes hit an annual record rate of 4.75 million. This paragraph best supports the statement that letter A. Consumer spending will be higher 13 years from now than it is today. Letter B. There were about 4 million homes for sale during the month of February. Letter C. Warm winter weather is likely to affect the rate of home sales. Question number 3. Generation X are those people born roughly between 1965 and 1981. As employees, Generation X tend to be more challenged when they can carry out tasks independently. This makes Generation X the most entrepreneurial generation in history. This paragraph best supports the statement that letter A. Generation X work harder than people from other generations. Letter B. Generation X have a tendency to be self-directed workers. Letter C. Generation X have an interest in making history. Question number 4. If you're a fitness walker, there is no need for a commute to a health club. Your neighborhood can be your health club. You don't need a lot of fancy equipment to get a good workout either. All you need is a well-designed pair of athletic shoes. This paragraph best supports the statement that letter A. Fitness walking is a convenient and valuable form of exercise. Letter B. A membership in a health club is a poor investment. Letter C. Walking outdoors provides a better workout than walking indoors. Question number 5. In the past, consumers would rarely walk into an ice cream store and order low-fat ice cream. But that isn't the case today. An increasing health consciousness combined with a much bigger selection of tasty low-fat foods in all categories have made low-fat ice cream a very profitable item for ice cream store owners. This paragraph best supports the statement that letter A, low-fat ice cream produces more revenue than other low-fat foods. Letter B, ice cream store owners would be better off carrying only low-fat ice cream. Letter C, ice cream store owners no longer think that low-fat ice cream is an unpopular item. That ends our quiz. Keep your notes as we are going to check them next meeting. In case you have clarifications or queries about the subject matter, you can reach out to your subject teacher. Congratulations, learners, for listening and learning our lesson well. On behalf of our scriptwriter, Heidi D. Dancel, and the whole SDO Isabela RBI production team, I would like to extend my gratefulness to you for listening in today's discussion. Before we part ways, I would like to leave a quotation from Albert Einstein for you to ponder upon that goes this way. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Thus, comprehension is a must. This has been your radio teacher, Catherine Joyce Lactao Cristobal, saying goodbye and keep safe.
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela!